welcome to our Team Beauty Podcast, episode number 5, How to Be a Mompreneur. We have a very special guest in the podcast room today, you guys. So let me just say, it's a little chilly outside. Let's start with that. So we are enjoying the weather outside. It's very, very good. And so let me tell you a little bit about our special guest today. She has been with Team Beauty for the past 9 years. Her 9th anniversary is coming up in January. She has been an entrepreneur for 10 years. She has 2 beautiful daughters, one that is 10 years old and another that is 13 years old. So with us in the podcast room is Selena Gonzales. Welcome, Sel.
Hello. Thank you so much for that introduction. I'm super excited to be here. This is my first time doing a podcast appearance, and I've been looking forward to it since you
We're so excited to have you, Selena. Thank you for being a quick yes to coming on to this podcast with a very important topic that I think is so essential for all of us, right? All of us moms. If you're a mom, give me a number 3 in the comments, okay? It's a lot, not just to be a mom, but also to find your path back to who you were before this title called mom, right?
Yes.
I feel like, Selena, you are someone that came to my mind when we said, okay, let's talk about being a mompreneur.
Thank you.
Because I know that you have 2 beautiful daughters and you've always carried yourself with such dignity in this business and in everything that we've done and every event we've ever hosted. I always see you with a big smile, making it happen no matter what. So again, it's an honor to have you here in growing businesses and growing babies.
Yes.
So, Selena, tell me a little bit about how your entrepreneur life got started. Like, were your parents entrepreneurs? How did you get that started?
Actually, it came out of nowhere. I of course, went to beauty school. I started working when I had she was going to be 2 and I was pregnant. So I started working right after school in a salon, and I knew that I didn't want to have a boss. I knew that I wanted to be able to make my own time. And then of course I was spending time away from my oldest daughter while I was pregnant. So I started to feel a little, sad about not being present. Yeah. And so, I was super pregnant in a salon, and I had clientele already, and it just kind of happened. I went into labor with my daughter. I left the spa that I was working at, and my clients were still reaching out to me. So I said, okay, well, I'll just invite him to the house.
Yes.
So that's how it started. I turned my nursery into a lash wax room. And I started like that, inviting people over to my home. I had a newborn and a 2-year-old running around. And that's how I started, just growing, my business. And it wasn't until I realized, this is serious. This is getting, pretty big. And that's when I decided, you know what? Like, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to start my own lash business, and I'm going to work for myself. And
that's awesome.
That's how it started. I invited people over to the house, and people, I'm very blessed to say I still have some of the same clients that have grown with me and seen the girls grow up as, I've changed location to location. So it's been pretty cool. I
love that you say that, Selena, because I feel like as an entrepreneur, right, people fall in love with you. They don't want someone else. They want Selena, right? Yes. So it's great that you say that, because as an entrepreneur, it's so important that you know who you are and what you offer, right? And feeling a sense of purpose, I feel like is important. And not just, being a mom, because a mom is very hard work, right? And postpartum is very hard.
Yes.
Especially if you have no help. So, I'm glad that you were able to just say, you know what? First of all, I don't want a boss, right? I want to be my own boss. I want to be the boss of my time, and being able to be a present mom, and also letting your daughters see you in action, Selena. I feel like that's what's going to give them the little entrepreneur spirit for them as well.
For sure. You know, my girls have grown up in the business with me, both businesses. I started with Mila and the little carrier. Then she went into the bouncer. I don't know if you remember those little bumbo things.
Yes.
And then the walker. So it was pretty wild. It was wild having both of them, you know, in the room with me. Disney Junior was my babysitter while I was taking care of my girls. But, you know, Vale, it wasn't until, you know, Mila was about 10 months and Sadie was already 3. And it wasn't until this very moment that I decided, okay, I need to make this legit. I need to find a location. My daughter, my oldest Sadie, she, like I said, Disney Junior was my babysitter. I was done with my client. We're walking out.
You mean the TV, right?
The TV, yes, the TV. We're walking out of the room, and I just see like sparkles everywhere. Oh, and then I look at my baby, and Mila's covered in gold glitter.
Girl.
And Sadie's there with the glitter, putting it all over the sofa, all over the floor. I'm like, what the heck?
Selena, I feel like that time where you were, that's me right now.
Yes.
Okay? Because Emiliano's about to be 3, and Valentina's 9 months.
Oh, yes.
So, girl.
You know.
I'm right there.
Yes.
I'm right there right now.
So in that,
you're speaking to me.
Yes. So at that very moment, I was like, okay, first of all, this is dangerous.
Yeah.
Second of all, she had to climb on top of the bar to get it. And, you know, I figured if she's doing this while I'm doing lashes, what else could happen here? So that's when it clicked to me that I needed to find a location and I needed to separate, you know, my business from home life.
Yeah.
Blessed to be able to grow a business from home, of course, around my kids. But it was that time when I said, okay, I need to focus on, you know, being professional.
Yes.
And then having the girls, you know, be at home with me whenever I'm home with them.
Exactly.
So, yeah. So they were both covered in glitter. Needless to say, she said she was sprinkling fairy dust on everybody.
Oh,
so
my God.
I was like, thanks, Sadie.
Oh, my God. Thanks for those stories, Selena. So I know right now there's a lot of entrepreneurs on this call, or maybe you want to be an entrepreneur, but you're also a new mom. So I really think that this topic is going to help so many women that just need to know what happens, right? What can I do, you know, with a business and a baby, right? So today we're going to talk about 8 tips on how to be a successful mompreneur. And so, Selena, I know that, you know, we had a conversation about this. Okay, what are we going to talk about? It's important we're on the same page. And we totally are, because, you know, we have kids, we have businesses.
Yes.
And I think we got it clear. So share with us, what would be your first tip that you would give the women on this podcast and this live, so that they can have a growing business and growing babies?
Well, first, I feel like it's very important to have a plan, to know what you're working for, what is your passion, what is it that you can do. I feel like it's also important to find something where you can stay creative, stay healthy, and stay, you know, busy.
Yeah.
Even just being a mom is being busy all day long, right?
Yes.
So just finding something that's going to make you happy, that's going to generate an income, and that you can make a plan for. So if you're planning to open a small business, you know, how long is it going to take you to start your business? And just have a plan and know what you're working for, and know that, you know, whatever it is that you're doing, you know, just put your full effort into it and just make it happen. Even though you're a mom, it doesn't mean that you can't still dream. It doesn't mean that you still can't have goals or vision.
Exactly.
It does put a little halt to things, you know, like you said, where you're at right now. I remember those days, but I also remember someone telling me, enjoy it. Enjoy those little times, because it's only for a little while. So through the chapters of your motherhood, you're going to know that whatever you want to do, you can still do it, because life is happening and time's passing. So either you're going to stay, you know, not doing your goals and dreams, or you're going to just do them while your kids are growing up. So that was really important.
Thank you so much for that, Selena. I'm enjoying the Hot Wheels in the toilet.
Oh, of course.
It's so fun.
Of course. Of course.
Okay. So having a plan, knowing what you want, and knowing how long it's going to take you to get to point A to point B, right?
Yes.
So you said also make sure you're doing something that makes you happy, because, you know, if you're miserable, okay, going to work every day and you're leaving your kids and you're miserable, I mean, of course, you want to have a better plan. Something that's going to keep you healthy, I think, is important. Yes. Health is wealth nowadays, Selena.
Of course.
I think health is everything. Yes. So whatever that's going to keep us healthy, that, you know, is going to feed our mind and not be, you know, in a toxic environment. So what would be tip number 2?
I would say, you know, of course, have faith. Have faith in what you're doing. Have faith in yourself, whatever, you know, you believe in. Just know that you are destined for greatness. And, you know, just have faith in everything that you do. Being a mom, you get tested several times. Yes. And not just as a new mom, you know, as a mom, period, we get tested with everything. And, you know, just becoming a mom, you do suffer through postpartum depression. I did suffer postpartum depression with my first baby. Yeah. I was a new mom. I didn't know what was going on. You know, I didn't know how to be a good mom and be myself. Yeah. And so just having faith and knowing that, you know, the hard times are going to be there, but there's also good times, and just having faith in yourself and whatever it is that you're going to be doing as far as a business, as far as a job. And like you said, you know, having a really good mindset in that, and knowing that if it's a negative environment, you're going to take that negativity home and then you're going to feel bad. So just having faith and, you know, just praying about it and knowing that you're going to be okay.
Having faith and believing in yourself, yes. Right? Because if you don't believe in yourself, how are you going to offer something to someone, especially as an entrepreneur where we offer a service, right? Yes. Or a product? How are you going to sell? How are you going to offer a service to someone if you don't have faith and if you don't believe in yourself? Exactly. Like, ask yourself that question. If you're an entrepreneur right now and you're like, I'm not seeing anything, nothing's happening, do you really believe in yourself? Do you really have faith in this business, in this plan that you have? Because I think, Selena, that's a very important tip. So thank you for that. Okay, so number 1, having a plan. Number 2, have faith and believe in yourself. Give us tip number 3.
Stay organized. Oh. Be organized. As crazy as it sounds, okay, you have to be organized, or you're going to be running around like a chicken without your head. You're going to be upset. You're going to be upset that nothing's happening the way it is because you're not staying organized.
There's books on organization, yes. Right? Yes. I know I'm one of those people that I'm like, I don't know how to be organized. Like like I operate very differently than my husband. My husband is so organized, right? And I'm like the chaos. But I've learned, and I'm grateful that he's organized because I'm kind of learning from him. Yes. So like, I think it's important to be organized, Selena, because in the little things, like sometimes you don't think about, for example, what outfit am I going to wear tomorrow? Having it ready, right? Having your snacks ready, having your baby's things ready, yes. Their diapers, their yes. wipes, their snacks, having a bag always ready so that if you ever have to leave the house fast, you're not like, oh my God, depressed because now you have to prepare. And I feel like preparation is so important. Organization is so important, not just in business, Selena, but in mom life.
In mom life, it's extremely important. And you don't want to feel that way. You don't want to forget something or be like, oh, I forgot the Pampers, or I forgot the diaper, or like in my case, I forgot to take her gym clothes, you know, stuff like that. So just being organized. For me personally, I have 3 organizers. I have 3 planners. Yes. I have a huge calendar on my table, yes. and that's for the kids. Because now I have 2 very active preteens, now a teenager. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
And then I have my team.
They have their agenda.
And then I have my lash agenda. So it's pretty wild. But I feel like I have to be organized or I'm going to feel lost. Yeah. And it's happened before. You know, when I started Team Beauty, you know, I had a Team Beauty location, I had a salon, and I had 2 very active little dancers. Wow. So I was running around crazy, you know, sometimes crying, but there was one instance where I felt like, oh my gosh, I need to get organized. I forgot to dress up my daughter for career day or something. She was in kindergarten, crying, big old cry.
You felt like the worst mother in the world.
I think I cried. I think I cried like, it still haunts me. I think I cried for like 30 minutes in my car. And I felt like the worst freaking mom ever. And I'm like, okay, this is where I have to get organized because I can't, you know, not be better for her or like
Yes.
better for myself. And that was when I realized
That was the moment that you were like, I need to get my
yes, that was a very huge moment.
SHIT together.
Yes. And so that's when I figured, okay, that's when I developed my whole kids, lash, and Team Beauty agendas. And it's
Yes.
worked. So staying organized, being on top of that, because you don't want that to happen to you.
Last night, I visited my nearest Sam's Club and I stocked up on diapers, formula, snacks, because I have a busy week and I can't be like, okay, they don't have milk, they don't have Pampers.
Yes.
Right? We have to come record for the podcast. We have events coming up this
Yes.
weekend. So being prepared, being organized. And you know something, Selena? I feel like if you treat your business like you treat your babies, like if there's anything being a mom has taught me is responsibility.
Yes.
And like, even if you have no energy left in you,
Of course.
and your baby's crying for a bottle, you find the strength somehow.
Yes.
You give them that bottle. If only we treated our businesses how we treat our babies.
I've always said that my business is my baby. It's
Exactly.
my third baby.
Exactly.
And the effort that I'm putting into
It's our
of course,
baby. Our
being-
businesses are our babies,
Yes,
girls.
they
Write
are.
that down. Your business is a baby.
And it's just like, you know, every day when you have to wake up, you wash your face, you brush your teeth. Those are things that you have to do.
Yes.
It's the same thing in motherhood. You have to get up. You have to change a pamper. You have to make breakfast.
You have to follow up with your customers.
Exactly.
You
and
have
then
to show up
go-
for them.
Exactly. You have to go to the events.
Yes.
You have to follow up with them. You have to
Yes.
make sure that you're taking care of your customers because your customers are your business.
That's right.
So, yes, you know, just treating it like a third, fourth, fifth, first baby, whatever it may be.
I love it. Thank you so much for that, Selena. Okay, let's move on to tip number 4. I hope you guys are writing this down because this is so valuable. Okay, number 4.
Tip number 4 is self-care. Self-care is not selfish. A lot of the times as a mother, you know, or as a woman, we
Yeah.
put everybody's needs in front of our own.
Oh, no.
And, you know, it takes its toll on you. You're
Yeah.
hearing, you know, well, from my personal experience, I'm, you know, dealing with the girls.
Yeah.
I have Team Beauty, you know, women. We're empowering. We're hearing different stories. And then I go to lashes and I have different stories. And I'm carrying all this weight. And,
Yes.
you know, what about me? What am I doing for
Yes.
myself to make sure that I don't fall into maybe a depression or I don't fall into feeling, you know, my self-worth isn't high. So I feel like self-care is not selfish and we need to really implement that on our daily basis.
That's
and it
right.
doesn't need to be like spending
Crazy.
money or you can just go for a walk, taking that time. The kids are okay. Babe, take care of the kids. I'll be right back. I'm going to go to the gym. That's self-care.
Yeah.
You know, listening to a podcast, that's
Yes.
self-care. Doing something for yourself and not feeling bad about it. Because
Yeah.
I know that there's times where we go and splurge on our kids and we're buying them all this stuff. And when it comes to us, we're like, it's okay. I don't need that. I don't know if
Yeah.
that happens to you. That happens to me all
Yes,
the time.
it does.
The girls are like super dressed up and I'm there like in my sweatpants, you know, and I don't want to spend on myself. I'd rather spend on my kids.
Yeah.
And that happens. And that's because it's just a part of being a mom.
Yeah.
And we put everyone before us. So self-care, you know, going to the spa or, you know, just basically going hanging out with your girlfriends,
Yeah.
having some girl time away from the kids so you can feel like yourself.
I feel like a good question we can ask ourselves every day is, what did I do for me?
Yes.
Because we do so much for the family, right? For the kids, for our business. But at the end of the day, you know, we are the pillars of our home, right? So we got to be 100%. If not, everyone's coming down with us, okay?
Yeah,
So
for sure.
a good question to ask daily to ourselves is, what did I do for me today? You know, and for me, it was driving over here. I was listening to a book that was recommended to me, and oh my gosh, it was amazing. Like I got 3 chapters in,
That's good.
so I feel so good.
That's good. For me, what I like to do is I like to make sure that I go and do at least 30 minutes of cardio or 30
Yes.
minutes of a workout because I don't want it to wait to the end of the day because once the kids are out of school, we're done.
Yeah, it doesn't
And then
happen.
it doesn't happen. So I like to make sure that I do that or to take time to listen to, you know, a podcast, listen to a
Yes.
book, something to feed my mind to get me going on the right path.
So all the women that are listening right now and that are in this live, congrats, kudos, because you're doing self-care.
Yes, for sure.
Let's go into tip number 5. So
Okay, this is a huge one. And this is huge for me because I tell myself every day, lose the mom guilt. You know,
Yeah.
I suffered a major mom guilt, and this is why, Vale, I decided to pursue Herbalife and Team Beauty. Because when I first started, you know, I had a salon, I gained a lot of weight, I was kind of low-key depressed, spending time away from the kids, because like I said, I made that decision to go and open a spot, not knowing the sacrifices that I was going to have to make. And so spending time away from the girls, super sad, fighting with my husband, like it was just a lot to deal with.
Yeah.
And that mom guilt like really, really got to me. So what inspired me was seeing other women, younger women with babies, you know, being present and being there and being with their kids and growing their businesses and just being present. So to me, like the mom guilt, that's how I got rid of it, by learning how to do something new and work that way I could be more present with them.
I feel like sometimes even if you're at home all day with your kids, but if they're driving you crazy, you didn't get anything done for yourself. Like, is that really quality time, or are you just like there but not there?
Yeah.
I find that whenever I do get work done and then I have my 1 to 2 full days with my kids, it's the quality time is so much better. They see me with so much joy. You know, I see them with so much joy. Like they'll do whatever crazy thing and I'm not even mad about it because I miss them, you know? So I feel like sometimes mom guilt does get to us, but realize that quality time is the important one, right? Making sure that even if you get an hour with your kids that day, make it a quality hour, because that's what kids remember when they grow up. That's what I remember when I grew up from my parents. Like when they taught me how to ride a bike, when, you know, they took me to my favorite, you know, restaurant and we had dessert. Like those are the special moments that I think we remember. So knowing that it's okay to not always be there, but when you are there, give them that quality time and be present.
They're building core memories. And as far as women who maybe have a business and also have a job, you know, where you're trying to do multiple things and you feel guilty for not being present with them, or you feel guilty for not being at a game, or, you know, just know that the sacrifices are going to be worth it at the end. And to just not let that mom guilt have you quit on what your dreams are.
I love it. So let's move on to number 6.
Balance. What is balance?
Oh, girl. I imagine a little octopus. And then, like, you know how they have a lot of hands
with everything.
So yeah, that's balance for me. That's what comes to my mind.
A lot of the times we're told, you know, you can't have balance. And as a mompreneur, I feel like it's important to try or to attempt to have some sort of balance in your life, because like I said earlier, like you don't want to feel like a chicken without your head. So having balance and knowing, okay, this at this time I'm going to be all in with my business, 9 to 2 or whatever. And then, you know, I get the kids after school. I'm going to be with them for 2 hours, homework, after school activities. And then, you know, maybe put them to bed early so you can focus on the rest of your business. But having a balance is like, just like that as a mom, you know, and we do so many things, and it's not impossible. It's kind of possible, but not impossible. I don't know. But
I think it looks different. I think it looks different for everyone. I don't think there's like, this is how you have balance, right? I feel like everyone has their own, many things to do. So
everybody mom has a different mom life. And everyone does mom life differently. And it's just up to you knowing where you're going to put your efforts in for the day, and knowing that, you know, as a mompreneur, you're going to have those sacrifices and that balance.
Do we have having a to-do list there, or does that go with what we're talking about?
Actually, we're,
That's the next one? Or?
No.
Okay. So having a to-do list, right? So balance sometimes is having a to-do list, right? From 1 to 10, 1 being the most important, 10 being the least important. And sometimes you're going to do them all. Sometimes you're not going to get to 10 because your baby got sick and you have to go to the doctor, and that wasted 3 hours of your day. Okay. But having a to-do list and tackling each segment and knowing you're checking it off and you're completing your task. So
even if you have to go back the next day to finish one task, but just knowing that the direction you're going within your day, as far as the kids, and like
you're
right
not
now,
everywhere. You're focused.
I have 2 very active kids, and if I don't schedule myself and have the to-do list, I'm not going to know what to do.
Exactly. So that's kind of your boss, your to-do list.
So the next one would be wearing different hats. It kind of goes with being an octopus, but wearing different hats and knowing when to take off the boss lady hat and put on the mom hat. When you take off the mom hat to put on the wife hat.
Yes.
You know?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So you have to, and learning from experience, it's taken me 10 years to figure out how to work all of that. You know, you're either neglecting hubby to do something, or you're neglecting the kids, you know, and you feel like, okay, how do you do? But when you're in that hat, when you're in the, you know, wife hat, spend time with your husband. Enjoy
I'm gonna
him.
literally go buy hats, Selena, and name them, and then just put them on so I remember what I'm doing.
But you know, when you're with him,
I'm a visual, so I gotta see the hats.
When you're with him, or you know, your significant other, just make sure that you are there with them, connected. Put the phone away, because I know as boss ladies, we're always on our phone. But at least take important. You know, time to engage with him, and not just him. You know, your friends. If you're having girl time, spend time with your friends.
Yes.
Be the person you were before you were a mom. And that's important.
Yeah.
And then of course when you're a mom, you know, I feel like we don't ever take the mom hat off, because we're constantly worrying about our
hat
kids.
That's permanently.
But you know, when your boss lady hat is on, you're full in engaged. Our events, we're there. We're focused. You know, working in a month, we're focused on our you know, our goals. So just knowing that wearing different hats is okay, and just knowing how to prioritize them.
I remember, Selena, being a speaker for a event called Future Preston Retreat. It was an online event that day, but I was so excited because I was a speaker, and we had a speakers meeting. Everything was awesome. That day, my kid got the flu.
Oh no!
So I was at the speakers meeting at the doctor's office, like at the same time, right? Wow. And then it was like, okay, I went to the doctor. We got his medicine. We let the husband take care of the baby. And I put my boss lady hat, and I was on, you know, Future Preston Retreat. Yeah. I gave like the best, you know, whatever my segment was. And it was like, I learned that day, okay, we can do it all.
Yes.
Right? We just have to be focused and know when we're doing what.
Yes.
And that's life, and that's being a mompreneur.
Yes.
Right? Sometimes
going with the flow.
Yes. Sometimes we're gonna have to run to the doctor's office and then come back and get some calls done and call it a day.
I mean, I remember back in the day when we would come to coaches meetings, and I would have my but I would have the girls in my car with their iPads, because I knew I had to be present. So girls, stay in the car. I'll be right here. Like, you know, and things like that, knowing when and where you need to prioritize, you know, it's your business. And, you know, obviously business has to come first too, because that's how, you know, for me, that's how I feed my kids.
Yes.
So if I'm not present at a meeting, or if I'm not present on a call, like how am I going to be bringing the funds or making the money to take care of my kids? So you kind of have to just know.
We're kind of teaching responsibility as well, right?
Yes,
I mean, we got to be there. We got to be, just
like
they have to do their homework. We got to do our homework, right?
Oh, for sure.
So give us the last tip of this amazing topic.
So boundaries, knowing to have boundaries, and knowing what serves you, and knowing what doesn't serve you. You know, as a mom, you're either going to gain friends and lose friends, and knowing that there's going to be certain boundaries that you're going to have to protect yourself with, you know, knowing what is okay to do, what's not okay, you know, as far as surrounding yourself with people who are not supporting you, supporting your business, supporting the fact that you have to have a sitter, you know, or you can't because you have a business presentation to do. And I feel like that's important also with just relationships, because like as a woman, as a mom, we want those relationships. We want that support from people. Sometimes you don't get it. And I know a lot of the time women, I hear it, you know, I don't have that support. I don't have that support either from family or from friends or from, you know, significant others. And just knowing that you have to have a boundary, you know, and protecting your peace. That's always protecting your peace. And is this worth it? Is this worth, you know, arguing about, or, you know, having that person in my life for? Because sometimes most of the time if they're making you feel that way, it's not. Yeah. So protecting your peace and having boundaries at all times, and respecting yourself, and also respecting your business.
I love it. Yeah. Oh my God, Selena, this was so good, guys. I hope you are enjoying it as much as I am. I think that I would end this by saying, remember who you are, remember your goals, remember your dreams. They're still waiting for you, mama.
Yes.
So even if you are a brand new mom, do not forget your goals, do not forget your dreams, and do not forget who you are, because you are still you.
Yes.
Now you're just a mom, which makes you more affectionate, which makes you more just compassionate and a better businesswoman. I feel like being a mom, becoming a mom has only made me stronger and more empathetic with people, and it's only helped me. It's only
you find
taught
strengths
me,
that you didn't know you
exactly.
had. You know, you find things that you didn't know that you could do, and that just comes with motherhood. Like they say, there's no hood like motherhood.
Yes, I love that.
There's not.
We should have named it that. There's no hood like motherhood, guys.
Yeah.
So let me just say, talking about motherhood, I got my babysitter ready for November 4, Selena, because we have Dr. Luigi, Herbalife's vice president in training, is coming to McAllen.
That is going to be amazing.
We have a business mixer. So for anyone that's on, if you are a beauty and you're like, I want to be a mompreneur, we invite you to this business mixer happening November 4. Get with your coach so that you get your ticket. Lunch will be provided, okay? And we also have a babysitter for November 15th, because guess what? We are going to party in hot pink.
This is another self-care day, ladies.
Yes,
so,
November 15th. It's happening in McAllen. November 8th for San Antonio. We're going to be having our Hot Pink Gala event, our Team Beauty birthday coming up, 9 years. And we're giving away a Peloton.
Oh, my gosh.
So we'll see you there, girls.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Selena, for being with us today. Thank you, listeners, for being on, for supporting us. If you liked this message, don't forget to share on Facebook, share on Instagram. Share this link to someone that needs to hear this. Tag your friends. Let us know if you liked it. We love you so much. Thank you for your endless support. And we will see you next week for episode number 6. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.